everything looks like it's running how it should. All right, hello, and welcome. So for today, working on something new. I'm now in the painting phase of these foam horns. So as you've seen before, if you've seen my previous streams, I was making these gluing these together out of EVA foam. Now they are primed and ready to be painted. So I'm super excited. I have my cat right here. She's sitting behind me. So if she's good, she can stay. But if she's not, then she has to leave. That's the rules for today. Yeah, so for these foam horns, I don't know if you can see her. Say hi, Clove. Hello. We love Miss Clove here. So going back to the horns, my thoughts are I was going to make these ones here like kind of like a brown burnt sienna, so very warm. So I was thinking about using this burnt sienna and this burnt umber and kind of do like an ombre effect kind of thing. It's Evolea. Hi Evolea, how you doing? Yeah, I got a kitty here today. And it's Win. Hi Win, how you doing? Yeah, I got my kitty. Hopefully she can be a good cat today. Sometimes she's very playful and mischievous, but she's good. She's just chilling here. She likes this chair. Yeah, doing good. I'm excited to work on some horns today. All right, so I'm gonna put these aside. And I know my lovely palette, it's just as good as like my oil painting palette. So grabbing a little bit of white and a little bit of the burnt sienna. And I don't want it to be super bright, so I'm going to add a little bit of that burnt umber in there. And I am making a gradient. And I gotta work quickly because this is acrylic paint, so I can't just kind of casually be as casual like as oil paint where I'm like, oh, I'm mixing colors, but I'm like, I got time. Nope, gotta keep moving. So how is everyone doing? How's everyone's week going? It feels like it's I hope everyone's having a good week. I know it's like, oh my gosh. I'm starting to get into the Christmas spirit. Like we put up our like Christmas tree and stuff, and I've been watching Christmas movies, and I know already. That's way too dark. I accidentally made it way too dark right there. That's okay. I'm gonna get some more burnt umber. Good. I'm glad you're doing good, Win. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like, so I know you can't see Miss Clove, but she's like just sitting at the back of my chair. We're sharing chairs, and she's so chill right now. I'm actually really surprised how chill she is. Because this morning she was very playful, and then she just crawled up on this chair, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll give you a chance. You can sit with me. I like having the company of a kitty. And let me tell, it's probably because she's on camera. It's probably because I'm live right now and she's like, oh, I better behave. Because let me tell you, most of the time when I'm working on stuff in here, she is eating things she shouldn't, playing with things, laying where she shouldn't. But no, she's being good. Alright, so for my idea for these horns, I was trying to think of, so I have a set of 11. That's what's in this first batch, what I just was able to make. And I'm trying to piece out, like, what colors I should make. I know that was, like, kind of like a discussion in an earlier stream of what colors. So I think I'm gonna make some brown, and I found this blue. I really like this blue, so I think I'm gonna make some this blue color too. I'm doing good, Win. Doing good, staying busy, but like, what's new, right? All right, so I mixed a little bit of the burnt sienna, white, and the burnt umber. And yes, I just like my oil paintings. I add a little bit of white because most acrylic paints, some aren't, but most of them are transparent. So adding a little bit of white to it makes it so they're not so transparent. Exactly like oil. Actually, just in case if you didn't know, I'll show you a little trick to see if most acrylic paint bottles should have this, but they have like a little key to tell you if they are opaque or not. But this little square right here, so this means that it's actually a solid pigment. I don't know, I'm kind of on that, but it's supposedly this is solid, but this one's also solid because the square. I don't know if I have one in front of me that's not. Ah, see, this square here is like oh gosh, you can hardly see that, but it's just like an outline of a square, so this one's transparent. And then there's some that have like half the block, the half that square like filled in, so then it means that it's like it's also kind of transparent. But yeah, that's how you can tell if your pigments. I still add a little bit of white in it though, because I like my colors really bright and solid. Also, as you know, I like making my own colors. Hey, it's Nacho. Hi, Nacho. How you doing? Good morning. Yeah, there's like fur everywhere. Yesterday I was painting the ears. I have how many sets of ears? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 sets of ears sitting right next to me. And I was painting those last night. So there's kind of like fuzzies, fur fuzzies everywhere. So yeah, so I'm just, and I'm kind of, I'm working quickly with the acrylic paint because it does dry fast. So for me to blend in colors, I have to, again, work quickly. And I can see that it's kind of patchy. It's not really as solid as I would like to be. So it looks like I'll have to do a second layer. Nice. Nice, Nacho. I hope you have a good day at work, Nacho. I hope you have, it's a busy day and lots of deliveries. Yeah, I'm really liking this color a lot, actually. It's very, like, it's warm, but also very earthy, which is something that I was going for. Um, yeah, I was thinking about the color to make these, and I want to do something that I'm inspired to do, but also I agree with a lot of people, like when I was asking what color should I make these horns, and a lot of people are saying like trying to make it, like make them more neutral, which the more I thought of it, the better, like the more that just makes sense to me. Yeah, and what I like a lot about making horns out of foam is that they're really, really light. Like, you almost can't even tell that you're wearing anything. They're so light. Yeah, I can't believe it. My next show is already in a month. I'm excited. So my next show, I'll be in Albuquerque Comic Con in New Mexico. So I'm excited. I'm excited to go. Um, I just can't believe it's like a month out. My gosh. And I still have so much I want to get done before then. Okay, so this is going to be the tricky part because this is like what I'm holding on to the horn. Actually, is this wet? Yeah, that's wet. You know what? I'm going to put this aside right here. We're going to come back to that one. So normally when I made these horns and I had them with the like the string that pokes through, these would be hollow. So I could just stick a chopstick and then just hold on to the chopstick and then they kind of like paint them like a popsicle. But with that method, that meant they had no bottom, like here. And I needed a surface to glue onto the headband, and the 2mm foam walls is just, it's too small. I wanted something more reliable. So, yeah. Yeah, these horns are hollow. Yeah, these are the same horns that I made the other day on stream where I was gluing them together. These are the same ones. They just look different because I have carved in details, which, oh my gosh, I wish I could show that on stream. That would be really cool to show, but I have to do it outside and I have no setup outside. Because I use like one of those heat wands. It's for soldering. And I carve in my details. And then after I carved in my details, I sanded, which again, outside, because sanding foam makes a mess. Foam dust gets absolutely everywhere. So that is definitely a job to be done outside. And then I prime these with Plasti Dip, and again outside, because oh my gosh, I don't know, the smell of Plasti Dip is very stinky. I was itching yesterday to start painting them after the Plasti Dip dried, but I didn't because they kind of they stink. They smell like Plasti Dip. So, and I do this with all my foam pieces. I let it sit overnight in an air, like in something that's ventilated, so not in my room. And sometimes I'll let them sit outside, but I don't like to do that because I am worried about like the wind or animals or rain. So I actually put them in the garage and let them sit in the garage and just air out. And now they don't smell bad anymore. And they're ready to be painted. I gotta mix more of this medium brown. Hey, it's In Touch, it's me. Hi, In Touch, it's me. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, never. No, when I know, don't ever put any plastic in the microwave ever. Plastic or styrofoam, never. That is a big no-no. Did you do something, Win? Did you put something plastic in the microwave on accident? I must know this story now, Win. Aw, thank you, and touch it's me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the horns are, they're turning out pretty good. I'm just mixing some colors here because need it. That looks a little too similar to the like slightly lighter brown. You know, I just thought of something that might look cool. I don't know. What do you guys think? In these, like, the grains that I outlined, what about gold? Gold might look really pretty. I don't have, like, shiny gold, but I have, like, the paint metallic gold. Wait, am I even in frame? Yeah, I'm gonna move this on the side a little bit. Whoop. What do you think? I think it would look really cool with gold. Metallics are still technically neutral. Well, it depends. Depends. Sometimes metallics are seen as neutral. Sometimes gold is seen as warm and silver is seen as cold. It just depends on the art piece itself. But I think almost gold in the grains of the horns would be kind of pretty. At first I was just gonna like paint it either dark brown or light brown. I didn't know in my head. I was like, I'll just paint the solid color first and then see kind of like what happens. But then I was like, wait a second. Something shiny might be really pretty. Possibly, yeah, you like that idea, Win? Hey, Isaac! Hi, Isaac, how you doing? Making some dragon horns today. Dragon horns or forest elf horns, your choice. All right, yeah. So I got this one, and this one should be dry enough. Yeah, it's kind of dry enough. I think so. Yeah, it should be good. I'm gonna go in with the dark brown here. Oop. I'll just have to be careful because there's some patches in here that are wet and some that are dry. So I'm just being very careful about where I hold the horns. Yeah, Isaac, I'm glad you love dragons. I love dragons too. Oh no, Isaac, you missed breakfast. That's not good. Yeah, go get yourself some breakfast. Go eat something. Take care of yourself. Okay, spaghetti and meatballs sounds really good. I think that's a great idea, Isaac. Yes. Spaghetti and meatballs for, well, maybe brunch at this time. Go get something to eat. There we go. Got one horn kind of done. It's the first layer. So I'm gonna, what is that? I noticed a funky part in the painting, which I do not understand what happened, what that is. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of like, not very pretty. Alright, I'm gonna just set it aside over here. Then I have this one. I think I missed one of your messages when, hold on, let me scroll up and let me see. There we go. No. Oh no, when? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, never. I'm sorry about your chicken parm win. Yeah, never put any plastic or styrofoam in the microwave. That is a definite big no-no. Also, too, if you have like fancy dishware that has like metallic gold or silver on it, don't put that in the microwave ever either. It can spark. And that goes the same with like paper plates that have like any metallic kind of painting on it, you know, like this fun happy birthday microwave happy birthday paper plates and stuff. Don't ever put those in the microwave either. The ink can spark, or at least the metallic ones. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sounds good. Isaac, you said a whole menu right there. You know, all that sounds very good. Don't know where to like touch this because it's like I don't want to mess up my paint. There we go. And just a little bit more. Good, because I don't have much of this paint left. That's how fast acrylic paint dries. It's crazy. That's why when I also work with acrylics, I only mix like the tiniest amounts at a time, because they just dry really fast. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna blend out where I held the horn, because it kind of left fingerprints, and I don't want fingerprints on these ones. Nope. There we go. Oh yeah, you could definitely do that, Isaac, and the air fryer always works really good. Toaster oven is good too, and I like my toaster oven. I like making nachos in the toaster oven. Ooh. You know what, Isaac? I highly recommend getting a toaster oven. I think you would love it, because yeah, you can make like, you can heat up leftovers, you can make pizza, toast, even heat up your french fries, make nachos. There's so much you can do with a pizza oven. Like the little ones. Mini bagel pizzas. I think I only had them like once when I was a really little kid at like a friend's birthday party. I don't remember much, but I remember one of my friends having pizza bagels at her party. Maybe I ate one, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I just remember seeing them. Along with a bunch of other food. All right. So I'm gonna let these horns here dry. I'm going, since I have like the browns and stuff, and I want several different horns in these sets to be brown. How about, which ones would work next? I picked up two random horns, and they ended up being the partners to each other. What's the chances of that? Because I just have them in a pile. Like, I kind of just pile them up. And I'm just like, this one and this one. And they end up being the partners. So I'm going to make these ones brown as well. And you know what? I might even make these with the gold lines in them too. That might be really pretty. That's a good idea, Isaac. I hope you find the bagel bites that you like. You know what you could do? You could also make your own bagel bites. I've seen them at the store. They're like teeny tiny bagels. Cut them in half. Put some like marinara sauce on them. Put some mozzarella cheese, some teeny pepperonis, and make your own bagel bites. And if you got a toaster oven, you can make that in a toaster oven. Yeah, why not? You could make your own. Yeah, and that wouldn't be, that's not hard to make either. Sorry, I'm like just thinking of different colors that I could do, and I started mixing more brown because everything that I used for these horns here was already dried up, so I was like kind of mixing, and I got lost in my thoughts of what other colors I could do. What other possibilities? Hey! Hey, it's Mike. Hi, Mike. How you doing? Yeah, working on some cosplay horns here. Sorry, Mike, if you were like just sitting in the chat for a little bit. Like, hey, I'm here. Like I said, I get lost in my creative thoughts from time to time. How you doing? Yeah. So Mike, I do all kinds of art. I do painting, I do cosplay. I love working with mixed mediums. So that's why it's also kind of it's always different here. And you know what? I like working with mixed mediums because it also keeps it always interesting for me. Um I don't know, I have multiple passions and I can't say no to any of them. And I can't say yes to just one. Oh, you're good, Mike. You're good. Oh, that's good. And yeah, thank you. And exactly, I agree with you, Mike, on do what you feel like. Yep, that's me. I like to show that example of do what feels right to you, do what feels good, and what you're inspired to do as an artist. Because that's exactly what I do. Oh my gosh, Isaac, your buffalo wing chili sounds very rich. You know, that's the type of thing that I would take one bite of and be like, you know, I'll just take one bite and I'll be good. I'm more of a veggie person. I need a little bit more veggies. But you know what? You enjoy it, Isaac. You know what? Be creative. Heck yeah. If you're inspired to cook whatever you want to cook, cook it. Make it. Because I know other people would absolutely love that. Lots of people probably. Yeah. I mean, so when I've never worked with stained glass, but I have worked on oh gosh, I've done blowing glass before. I can't remember if there's two different types of blown glass. There's hard and then soft, and I can't remember if mine was hard or soft, but it was the one where I'm like, it's not the tiny grade one, it's like the big one where like you're working with the big I'm not working with blowtorches. I'm working with like the giant furnaces and that kind of stuff, and the ginormous poles, and it's like the big version. So I done that, and that was a lot of fun. I did that in college. And that was, oh my gosh, I liked working with blown glass. I'm happy I did it too. It was definitely a different experience. I highly recommend if anyone ever, if you're not afraid of fire, you're not afraid of heat, if you ever get the opportunity to take a blown glass course, to definitely do it. Highly recommend. Again, it's cool. Hi, cat. The kitty has jumped up back on my chair. She's like, what you doing? There she is. Hi, Clove. Oh, hello. She's just walking. It's okay. I don't think she'll do anything. She better not. I'm watching you, cat. She's watching my screen. She's watching the monitor. My cat's watching the stream. This is hilarious. So like my cat, Clove loves to watch TV. We put on cat TV for her. Oh, she's bored. See, she already left the stream. My own cat wouldn't even watch the stream. She watched a little bit. She lurked for 10 seconds. But yeah, we put on cat TV for her, and she finds entertainment in it. Time to time. Not all the time, but sometimes. She's so funny. Here you go. And she's back. She's sitting behind me. She's so cute. Yeah, but thinking oh my gosh, sorry, I'm like looking up at the messages. I think I missed a few. Isaac, your toasted cream cheese banana sandwich sounds very rich. I don't know. Almost sounds like a cheesecake between toast. Sounds very interesting, Isaac. Yeah, when the blown glass I'm talking about. Yeah, it's kind of like what you've seen at the Ren Fair. They have demonstrations. They actually have both. They have the one that's like made with big the big poles, and then they have the other one that's made with the small torch. But yeah, the big one that always has, they kind of put on like a show, like I think like 3 times in the day or something. Super cool to watch. I know, right? I know, Mike. My cat is photobombing the stream. She's like, I'm making my own post here. You took a clip of Clove win? Oh my gosh. I'll have to see that clip later. Of her walking up. Yeah, if you want me to later, I can make a little post of Miss Clove. I have posted Clove before. I think the only one that I have like on my social media of hers. Well, no, I have two. I have one where I did a painting of her, and another one where she was kneading the dough. You know when cats like knead bread. She was doing that on the fur. I was making cosplay horns with, or not cosplay horns, just making the cosplay ears. I was making cosplay ears and I had my fur out, and she decided to sit on the fur as I was cutting it and knead bread. And she was so cute, I couldn't move her. So I took a video. And then she just plops down. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to get work done, cat. You can't just take a nap on my workspace. Silly cat. She is silly. Blown. Oh, yeah. That's true. Netflix does have a glass blowing competition, like reality TV show kind of thing. Yeah, it's super cool. I like that show too. I've seen a couple of the episodes. It's actually a good show. If anyone has Netflix, go check out Blown Away. That one's it's cool. It's fun. I don't know. I like any of those competition shows where they have like about creative people, creative artists. And there we are. Making another horn. All right. So I'm going to put that one aside. I don't know if this one's still too wet. Yeah, there's some wet patches. I'm doing great talking today. Today is a good talking day. All right. And then, so I'll move that aside. I wish I could start on the second layer of the big ones I have here, but I don't think that's going to be possible. They're still like drying. How is it that the paint dries so fast on the palette, but yet on my on the horns themselves, it's like they take a long time. I know, right? I know. Yeah, I can't move Clove. She's too cute. All right, so I'm gonna look for another set of horns. Let's see, who should I paint next? I'm not going anywhere. Still here. Okay, I'm back. I didn't disappear. I have these teeny tiny horns. Which ones are matches? Okay, these two are matches. They have like these really cool wave designs. I think I want to make these ones dark blue. So I'm going to put that aside. But I have these ones here. I think that would be really cool. And you know what? I'm going to finish up the brown that I have on here. And because I don't want to waste. I'll finish up the brown. I bet the brown that I have on my palette, it'll be good after this. And we can move on to different color. Try to keep it interesting. And so these horns are going to be put on a headband with flowers. And so I'm going to hold on to them. I just thought of, I'm like, actually the best place to hold on to these would be the bottom corners, because if I have little like fingerprints, it won't really matter all that much, because it'll be covered up with fabric and flowers. So I can be like, yeah, whatever. And I'm also not painting the bottoms. Let's say if I had these like on a string and it was just the horns themselves, I would of course paint the bottoms so it like looks nice and neat and complete. But why spend the time painting them and waste paint if I'm just gonna glue these onto a headband? Like, no one's ever gonna see it. No need to waste time or paint. Yeah, it's been a while since people have been, for a while now, people have been asking me to make horns to go along with like my cosplay animal ears and that kind of stuff. So I'm excited for my next shows, and I'll bring these in and it'll be good. There we are. There's a horn. And I'll put this on the side. Just like that. Yeah, I'm gonna be at lots of more shows. Gosh, this winter, spring, I have 4 shows going on. So that'll be exciting. It's gonna be a lot. It's like kind of like one after the other after the other. But I'm ready. I'm excited. I also got, I got in a new poster prints today. I would totally show them off, but my hands are like completely covered in paint and I don't want to get them on the poster prints. But I took videos of them yesterday, so I'll be posting soon about all the new poster prints that I got made. lots of new ones, like all the food ones that I recently did, like the sushi plate, the dumplings, the fun drinks, are all poster prints now. What else? The one that I just completed of Scirocco from the DJ one that I just did. Also too, there's like this old one that I did with that's in space with that I did with pastels. I made that one into a poster print. So yeah, all my Ren Fair ones made into poster prints, bigger poster prints now. So yeah, a lot of new ones. And I'm just I'm so excited. I'm happy. I'm happy to have all these new ones. And I know it was like a really big order when it came. I'm like, oh my gosh, this box is heavy. It's a heavy box. There we go. Deep. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Win, for posting the Discord. Alright, so, since these horns are just drying and waiting for their second layer, let's switch up the colors. I'll put this one over here and over here. You know what? Which one do I want to be blue first? Let's see. You know what? Let's do something different. I think this one's the same one. I think. No, these are two different horns, I believe. Yeah, these are two different ones. Let me try to find its partner. There we go. All right, so I got these ones here, and let's make those ones blue. So I'm gonna use this lovely blue right here. I think it's called greenish blue. That's what the name of it is. Greenish blue. It'll be pretty. And add in a bit of white. I'm so happy I just got a new tube of white acrylic paint too. All right, I'm gonna move over my palette. And I'm gonna mix right over here. And so just like the browns, I'm gonna make some gradients. I don't know if I like it this bright of blue. So what I'm gonna do is add a bit of black to it and kind of tone it down. I kind of want more of like a gray blue kind of color. And then I'm gonna put more blue here, a little bit of white, even more black, make like a darker blue. And then I always like to work in 3 tones. There we go. I think this is a good gradient. I like it. I like this a lot. All right, put my palette back to the side. And then I'm going to start with this one. Ah, thank you, Wynn, for posting my Instagram. Yeah, my latest post on Instagram. Yeah, I just made a video of me making the catnap tail. Oh my gosh, that tail commission. That was a big commission. It took a lot more effort than I thought, but you know what? It ended up being worth it in the end. And then I'm just going in with my light blue. And these horns don't have to be a gradient color. Like if you're making these at home, and which I do have the patterns up on my Etsy, by the way. But if you're making these at home, you don't have to do a gradient. If you just want a solid color, you can. I like the look of ombre. I think it's really pretty and dynamic. I like the look. I think it makes the horns also look more interesting to have them like a gradient rather than just one solid color. Aw, thank you, Wynn. Thank you. Yes, girl. Yeah, and I want my horn, I want like colorful ones. I'm thinking about also making a green set. I think green would be really, really pretty. You know what? You know what would be pretty with this set right here with the blue if it's silver. I think that would look really pretty. Like making the grains in this one silver, like how I was talking about making the other ones gold. Maybe a possibility. Add a little sparkle, add a little metallicness. Hey, yo, cat. The cat's going after my... Ah! Hold on. Wait. No, Clove. Clove. There we go. She's going up. I have the strings in my pants. She's going after the strings. You know, the little drawstring? She was going after that. And then it got caught in her claw. There you are. Hello, cat. Welcome back. And I was like, oh no. See, she's trying to get after it. Now she's in my lap. She's still going after the drawstrings. Yeah, I'm painting. Yeah, make some like earthy horns. I think that would be cool. I'm glad you agree, Win. I know, right? She's fine. She gets into all kinds of stuff. Hey! Nope. She's actually going after the horns this time. Hey, yo, cats. Nope. She's done now. She loses interest very quickly in things. Alrighty, so we got one horn here done. What? This almost looks like it could be like a water dragon or something like that. Like maybe these ones are like earth dragons. This one's like a water dragon. Maybe that would be cool. I theme them all. They all have they're all like one of the 4 elements. I don't know, how would I make a flower crown of a water dragon though? I would need some like seaweed. I do have this interesting plant though that could be seaweed. It's black though. So for Halloween, they had a bunch of like fall leaves, and like at the craft store, they had like the silk flowers that were like gothic and fall leaves, and I couldn't help myself. And I bought a couple of bundles to make flower crowns and hopefully these horn flower crowns and stuff. Well, they had this like interesting, I don't know, the leaves themselves almost look like eucalyptus, but it can't be because they're not like on these stiff sticks. They kind of like hang down, kind of like seaweed or like branches on a willow tree, kind of like that. And it's like this like rubbery material, and I like the texture of it. I don't know. I just thought that it was an interesting plastic plant that I could do something cool with it. Maybe for like a water dragon. Could be like a dark lake or pond dragon. Add it to these horns. That might be cool. Of course, when you make any clips you want, all is good. Actually, when I think it's funny, the clips you do make. I do. I always think I think it's funny to discover what you think is interesting or funny. I don't know if that's worded very well, but I think you kind of get what I'm saying. You feel the energy. Mhm. That's okay, Win. You're all good. Yeah, if you want to take clips from past streams that are still up before they expired, you're totally good. I don't know. They might even be funny enough for me to want to post them. If you don't mind. Yeah, and so I'm just continue. I actually am really, really happy with this blue ombre that I got going on. I think I definitely want a purple pair though, or a pink pair. I don't know if that'll be liked or not, how other people will feel about that, but I kind of have my heart set. I want to do something wild and crazy. Maybe with some rhinestones or something. There we go. Pretty. Yeah, I really like this ombre. This looks super, super pretty. I don't know. I'm really excited how these are turning out. Yeah, this might actually look really pretty with silver. I think I might add silver in later. Like, look at my hands. The hands of an artist. I have a little bit of paint left. Not much, though. Just a little bit. Because I don't want to waste. No waste. I think I have another set of tiny horns here that I'll also make blue. And I like making options for people. This is kind of like why I like, you know, creating, like painting them the same way, but having different sizes and styles. It gives more options, and I like to do that. Because someone might like this blue color, but doesn't like, just want something more subtle, more small, so they got the small ones. Or maybe they want to be really loud and obnoxious and get the big ones, make a statement. Welcome back, Nacho. How you doing? I have so far painted one, two, three, four sets of horns. This is my fifth set. Not completed though. They still need second layers. Actually, these blue ones look pretty solid, but I think I might do a second layer on them anyway to kind of make them really solid. I don't cheap out when it comes to color. No cutting corners. No, I don't like to cut corners. I put a lot of time and care into my craft. Like, I care. I care about what I'm doing. I care about how these look. And yeah. Hello, cat. She jumped up behind me again. Are you gonna lie down? Who knows? She's such a funny cat. Nice, nice, yay! Glad to hear you're getting some deliveries, Nacho. It sounds like you're at least a little bit busier than other days this week, so yay! Yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't know, just painting, and as you can see, it's kind of like when I make the animal ears. It's like an assembly line, so cut them all out of foam, glue them all together, sand them all. Now just painting them all. And actually, I can get a lot done pretty quickly if it's all assembly lined. There we are. Oh well, I'll wash my hands later. At least with acrylic paint, it just kind of peels off. Yeah. And you know what? I bet these big ones over here, yeah, these ones are fully dry now. So let's move these blue ones aside. They almost look like claws. They could be claws. So I got these ones. Let's give them a second coat. Actually, I'll put these aside and I will bring forward my palette. I really like Liquitex acrylic paints. These are like the best, especially when it comes to painting cosplay props. I know there's like almost this like shininess that comes from them because like some acrylic paint when it dries, it almost has like a matte finish to it, but the Liquitex paint, it stays like this shiny, but it's not overly shiny. It's kind of I don't know, it's like a nice gloss. So I don't have to go in with like a glossy coat because that's what a lot of acrylic paint you have to do. You have to go back and like spray it or do like a top coat of glossy so the colors really pop. But Liquitex, you don't have to do any of that, and I really like that. Also, I like the texture of the paint. Some acrylic, it's kind of like liquidy, a little bit like tempera, which isn't bad. Some people really like that texture. I really like the texture that it's a little thicker of paint. I guess it kind of resembles that of oil paint just a little bit. It's still different than oil, but it kind of similar-ish. And I like it too for that reason. Yeah, golden's good too. Golden's it's like honestly competitive, very competitive to Liquitex. I would say their paint's slightly more runny, but still not like in a state where it's like watery. Like it holds its form, and also it stays shiny too, just like Liquitex. It's nice. Golden's good. All right, now that I have my colors mixed, I'm gonna bring this horn back here. And on for the second layer. The cat is doing her toilet behind me. She's given herself a bath and she's purring. She's a happy cat right now. Clove, do you like crafting? She's like, I do. Today is a good day. She is. She's a good kitty. There we go. See, look how much brighter it already looks. Like the second layer versus the first layer. It's so much more bold. Like side by side. Yes. Still being careful about these corners. Sorry that I stopped talking again. I just got super into the zone, like very zen zone of getting lost in my own thoughts while painting. I do it often. You probably, I know, like, it's obvious. It's been obvious by now. This is how I work. This is how I operate. Yeah, and doing good on time too. I just peeked over at the clock for the first time and making good progress. I like to think of my art kind of like magic. Like I'm bringing these worlds to life. You know, bringing things to life that's technically doesn't exist. I think that's why I love cosplay so much, is because it's like bringing things, you know, to life, things that you're passionate about, things that wouldn't normally exist but now are real. Making the unreal very real. So, yeah, in a way, it's almost. And there's a type of magic for that. It's called like wonder magic. And that's basically what it is. It's bringing things that are from other realms into this realm. Things that aren't real, making it real. That's what wonder magic is. And if I had to choose a description of magic for my art form, I would definitely describe it as that. Exactly. No, Nacho. Sorry I didn't see your message before about Clove, but yeah, Clove the noodle or Clove tortellini. We joke around that she should have just been called tortellini because she's a torty and she's a noodle. So, tortellini noodle. Clove the noodle. Yeah, she's still sitting behind me. She's doing her little bath. She's very chill, very relaxed. You know, something that I like about Clove, she might not be the most cuddliest cat in the world, but she doesn't hide and she's very social. She's not afraid. Like, wherever we are in the house, she wants to be where we are. She wants to be involved in whatever we are doing. And I really, really appreciate that character trait in her. I like that a lot. I like that she will just hang out with us. Like, I like that she's just hanging out with me right now, you know? She's not one of those moody cats that's like, ew, why do I want to hang out with you? Ugh. No, I'm happy she's like, no, I'll chill with you. I like this. I'm comfy. She's like, okay, this is what we're doing right now. I'll be with you. Oh, and answering your message, Win. Thank you. I'm glad you're liking how the horns are turning out. Yeah, these definitely will be interesting to see how they dry, because like how I've done them before too, before I added the little bottoms to them, is that I would also, since they would be hollow, I would have a chopstick through them and then they would just dry by not sitting on anything. So I'm curious. I might have to do touch-ups on them. Oh well, if I have to do touch-ups, then it's not the end of the world. There, I'm gonna mix a little bit more of this dark color because it's kind of drying out. The paint drying fast really forces me to move quickly. Sure, could I airbrush these? Yeah, I could definitely airbrush these. That's an option. I do like the paint stroke kind of texture on these. Maybe in the future, I'll like airbrush some horns. I am kind of limited on colors that I have. Could I acquire some more different like airbrush colors? Yeah, of course. But what I have on hand, I do have some brown. I don't know how good my brown still is. I have blues, like all different shades of like turquoisey blues. And then I have like your basic primary colors. Like I have like yellow, um I have, yeah, yellow, red, blue. I have a green, but it's a very basic generic green. It's kind of like a green screen green. I don't know, it came in like an airbrush starting pack, so I don't know. Who wants some horns that are green screen green? I don't know. Maybe someone will. That might be interesting. I heard though, I'll have to experiment with this myself because I've never done it, but I have heard that some acrylic paints, if you add alcohol to them, you can actually make those colors into airbrush paint. You just have to make sure, I guess, that the acrylic paint behaves well with the alcohol, like it doesn't curdle. And I guess if that happens, and when I mean it curdles, it kind of turns chunky and it kind of like separates and rejects the alcohol. Then that won't work. But if it mixes well and becomes super watery with the alcohol, then apparently, supposedly, you can make it into airbrush paint, which I'm curious because I have tons of, like, especially my Liquitex paints that I have here. I have lots of them. And I love all my pigments I have. And actually, that would save money too. But all I had to do was add a little alcohol to them and turn them into airbrush paint. But that is experimenting for another day. I've always kind of wanted to try it. I discovered this trick a few years ago. And I just haven't tried it yet. I have a cosplay friend. They've tried it and they said it worked well. They had some paint that didn't work, but some paint that did. So the paint that did actually worked quite nicely. And here we go. There's the other horns. So now with the second layer, and I think they look really, really nice. I could blend this part a little bit better though. There we go. That's better blended. And then I could bring forward these ones, do also a second layer on them. But yeah, oh, the difference that multiple layers make. Big difference. Any wet paint, I'm just kind of... This is also why I like working on this, like, just on disposable paper. I got this from a catalog. You can also use newspaper. Free catalogs that came in. Actually, it's this time of year where a lot of Christmas catalogs come in. Save those. You don't have to save all of them, but save a few for like painting projects and stuff, because I mean it's free paper. It's free paper you can just paint on and then throw away later. It's great. Aw, thank you, Evo, Leia. Thank you. Aw, I'm really glad you find the streams relaxing. Good. Good. That actually, like, means a lot, Evo Leia. Thank you. Ooh, what's a fun character you could cosplay that has horns? Good question, Nacho. You know, I was even like trying to think of that myself. And I'm trying to think. Well, all the elves in the Dragon Prince have horns, which I was thinking about eventually making some that are based off some of the characters, because I think that would be kind of fun. Who else? Honestly, any kind of dragon type character. Yeah, I'm even trying to think from me, like, because, yeah, I'll choose the characters that has, like, my horns and stuff. I don't know. I think these also could be good for, like, any character. Even just, like, you could cosplay just an OC, you know? Like, some kind of dragon or woodland elf. Maybe for anyone. I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking of all these different fantasy type characters. Look how bright that is. Yes, I like the dramatic transformation between just one layer of paint and two layers of paint. I think the original set of these, so in my hand right now, these are called the evergreen horns. That's the name of the pattern that I have available on my Etsy. Um, these ones I originally did make. It was like a brown green ombre. Very pretty. I might have to recreate it. Kind of got it here, but without no green in it. Thank you, Win. Thank you. Yeah, I'm liking the contrast too. I'm liking this dramatic ombre. At first, when I was first visualizing it, I'm like, I'll make a very subtle ombre. But once I got into mixing like the colors and the values, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna make these bold. I want these horns to be very bold. I want them to be fun. Look at that. Yeah, the before and after of those. So this is one layer, this is two layer. There's a big difference. Big difference. And almost done with this brown on the palette too. How are we doing on time? Okay, so it looks like for the time we have today, I'll finish up this horn here. Let's see how quickly I get it done, but most likely it looks like I'll get done with this horn and then call it a stream there. Unless if I go through it really fast for some reason. Then I have like the baby horns. And I'm very curious what you think. I have two different types of like patterning I like to do on these horns. I call these ones like more fairy wing ones. They have like a big swirl here and they have more veins. And then I have like a wood grain kind of texture, which is a little bit, I want to take these, but I don't want to mess up the paint. Kind of more like these ones where it's more like, it looks like wood. I don't know which one you kind of like better, the fairy wings or the wood grain. Or maybe both is good. both is good. Might just depend on the style of whatever cosplay you're trying to create. Both is good. You agree with me when both is good? That's all right, Nacho. Thank you for stopping by. I always like seeing you here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, Nacho. Oh my gosh. So I'm sorry I'm a little late on everyone's messages up here, but I saw that Evil Leia, you said the uh, the baby donkeys and dragons from Shrek. Oh my gosh, the mutant baby donkeys. That'd be funny. Um do they have horns? I feel like they have like little teeny horns, like this big that are just like little poke out. Some of them do, some of them don't. I feel like they do have teeny little horns. But that'd be funny. I've never seen anyone cosplay the baby dragons before, but that'd be funny. I've seen lots of different Shrek like cosplays out there of all the different characters and different variants. Never seen that. Oh my gosh. Wait, Evo Leia, I think you got my wheels turning now. I'm thinking about this. I'm actually thinking about this because they're so funny. And Nacho said, Chief Bogo. Oh, that's from Zootopia, the water buffalo chief. All right, I'm gonna have to message Nacho later about his idea of Chief Bogo. I kind of actually like that idea. That'd be funny. There we are. What time is it? Oh, we've got 10 more minutes. I can easily do the baby horns within that time. So we'll do the baby horns and call it a stream there. But look at that. Oh, I noticed a part that is not blended at all. Oopsies. I also hope I have enough flowers for all of these. I think I do. But I'll be completely honest, I don't know. I have to look at my stash of silk flowers. I think I should be okay. But if not, guess who's running to the craft store? I hope I'm good though. I should be. All right. These little ones. Good quote, Win. I like that. We need to address the elephant in the room. Francine, happy birthday. I like Zootopia. If you guys haven't seen Zootopia 2 yet, it's really good. Go see it. I highly recommend. It is, especially if you like the first one. If you like the first Zootopia a lot, you'll definitely like the second one. It's so good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually really happy that I am making these horns into flower crowns so that I can at least touch the bottom corners. Because otherwise I'd have to be doing this in a much more steps that would take longer if I was just putting these on string or on a headband, but you could see like the full horn because the corners are not looking perfect, but like I said, doesn't matter, they're going to be covered with fabric, the very base, because my plan is how to attach them to the headband is not just to glue them. I thought that wasn't going to be durable enough because I feel like just with a spot of glue on a headband, it's just going to pop off. So my idea is to, I actually kind of cheated a little bit and I looked at the horns I have behind me, which are uh, the fawn antlers. And I was like, oh, how'd she attach hers? And she wrapped felt around the base and then like glued that whole and wrapped it around and glued that whole thing to the headband. So I was like, that's so smart to like wrap it. So that's what I'm planning on doing to mine, is taking some fabric, wrapping it around the headband, and gluing it all down, so they should be super, super secure. And if they break off, it's because the person was being too rough, and then the whole like thing would be like you would have to like physically rip it off and intentionally break it to break them. I like to make my cosplays as durable as possible because they can go through some trouble being worn all day, and um, like we don't wear our cosplays all the time, so they go into storage or anything like that. So I want to make sure that they are as durable as possible so no one ever has to worry about these breaking. Also, too, what I like about the foam is that they are durable, where if they fall or hit the ground, they're not going to break because they're made of foam. They're just going to bounce. It's not like some 3D printed things where the plastic can actually crack. Yeah. Oh, Evo Leia, we were referencing, it's no one's actual birthday. We were referencing from Zootopia. Have you seen Evo Leia? Have you seen the first Zootopia movie? It's super cute. I think you would like it. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's Disney. It's like little animals in their animal world, and I don't know, I don't want to give too much away of what it's about, but it's about animals. And it's cute. But yeah, no, it's just a quote from the movie. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I recommend giving it a rewatch, especially that like Zootopia 2 just came out. Then you can like watch them back to back. Well, it looks like it's already time, which is crazy. Um Here I will I'll put these aside and I'll bring forward the big horns here. all that I've worked on today, I think I made good progress. You know, got done painting what, 5 sets of horns today. So I would say that it was a pretty good day. I'm happy with this progress. Here, we'll squeeze these ones in too. See, you can see as many as possible of my little creations. Alrighty. I know. 2 hours goes by so fast. I know, right, Win? It just flies away. Especially when, like, making stuff. I swear, when doing art, it's like truly time goes into a time warp. Anyways, anywho, thank you to everyone for joining today and hanging out as I make these awesome creations, these magical creations. I will be back on Tuesday, same time. Excuse me. Like always. What I'll be working on, it'll depend. It'll depend. I'm gonna keep working on these horns for sure off stream. We'll see how far I get. If I have more to paint, because I have 11 in total. Are sets. So we'll see. I might bring them back on stream. I might do some more oil painting. I'm still working on several projects. So we'll see what I do on Tuesdays. I'll leave it as a surprise. Again. I know. Aw, and thank you, Blood. I see you lurking here. Hearts. Aw, thank you, Blood. Thank you, Evo Leia, and thank you, Win. So, wait, what? Interesting. Huh. Alrighty. Well, thank you, everyone, and I will see you next week on Tuesday, where I'll continue working on some project, magical project. Alrighty. Bye for now. Bye.